Hello everybody, this is another Hot Wheels Collector video. Today we are looking at the '06 Pontiac GTO. This is a very nice casting and was found in the 2022 Hot Wheels main line. This car was also recolored later in that year in a black and yellow colour scheme, although I just don't think it looked quite as good. There was one thing that was obvious, and this is a very similar story with the Corvette Grand Sport Roadster, which we are seeing in 2023, where the wheel yellow, so the yellow used on the wheels to paint them, and the tampo yellow are not the same, so it sticks out very, very severely, and you can quite obviously tell the difference. And that ruins the aesthetic for me, and I know a lot of people will be probably thinking very similarly. Anyways, let's get into the actual facts about this car in real life. So this car in real life has a 6-litre V6 supercharged engine, which is capable of producing 400 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. That converts to 542 Newton meters of torque. This car also has a 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds and a top speed of 178 miles per hour, pretty impressive. Although this car that you're looking at right now is not a standard one, you can probably already tell. It has a huge hood blower, which I actually think is standard, but what isn't standard is the wheelie bar and the parachute, which are both found on the back of this car. Obviously, I would imagine this one is much faster in a straight line and is obviously made for drag racing. You can also see the rear wheels are much larger and beefier than the front wheels on this one. When this car was new in 2006, this car cost $33,000. Now, if you want one, it will cost you about $5,000 to $12,000, depending on obviously the condition and the spec of the car that you have chosen. Anyways, that's it for the facts about this car. Now let's get into the actual showcase of this car. Alright, so starting off this showcase, we'll first of all talk about the side of this car. So first of all, this car has 5-spoke wheels, which are done in grey, very nice. This entire car is painted in a glossy red and is not metallic. As for the tampo work on the side, there is a lot of it. So first of all, we have the Pontiac writing, which has been done in white. You can also see these almost tiger looking striping on the side of this car, and you can also see the number 6. Or 06, as I should have said really, which is also done in white. You can also see there are a few sponsors on this car. So first of all, we have the Hot Wheels logo, which has been done in white. You can also see an AEM, I believe it says, Sparkle, and Hot Wheels Graphics logo there. Hot Wheels Graphics is kind of their graphics team that create these crazy looking tampo works on the side of vehicles. And you'll oftentimes see that Hot Wheels Graphics logo on many cars of a similar nature to this one. A car that comes straight to my head is this one here, the Sierra Cosworth. You can see that that one has Hot Wheels Graphics written on the side of it. Obviously you can find a more in-depth video and review on that car on my channel, and you can also head over to the playlists on my channel. They're all organised in different topics, so there is a mainlines playlist, so you can easily just find it through that. But anyways, that's enough of plugging my stuff. I'll mention that this car does not have any wing mirrors in the casting, which is unfortunate. And we'll also talk about the windshield wipers. This car does have windshield wipers in the plastic glass, so that is very nice. I say plastic glass. What I mean by that is it is plastic made to represent the glass that would be found on the real car. Talking about the front of this car then, this car does have a lot of tampo work on the front. There's nothing on the hood, but we have a lot of tampos on the front bumper. So first of all, we'll talk about the headlights. They've been done in a realistic look. You can also see the Pontiac badge has been done in red, obviously very accurate to the real life logo. You can also see 2 grills have been done, as well as the GTO badge, which has been done in silver in the right grill. And you can also see 2 lower fog lights, or that's what I presume them to be, which have also been done there in silver tampo. Finally, there is a nice cutout for the lower vent of this car, which is for the intercooler. You can see that there, it's actually cut out, and that leads to the black interior plastic, which obviously acts as a very nice, it makes it look like it's an actual hole. So it acts as a hole, essentially. On the hood, we do have 2 huge scoops there, which are in the metal casting itself, but they are not tampoed to make them look any more realistic than they already do. Alright, that's really it for the front. Now taking a look at this side is the same as the previous, but if you are looking for something specific, you can pause the video here. If not, let's move on to the rear of the car. The rear of the car does not have any tampo work, but there's a lot going on. So first of all, we have the rear lights, which have been carved out. They are not tampoed, but obviously you can add your own details using Sharpie or acrylic paints. They are not that noticeable, however, because this entire car is done in red, and tail lights are oftentimes found in red, or the majority of the tail light is red. So really they just kind of blend in and don't look too bad without that tampo detailing. It would have been nice to have it, but it's kind of something that we just have to accept on the main lines. You can also see the parachute has been added into the metal casting itself. That is very nicely done. And you can also see the wheelie bar is created using the grey or very dark grey base plastic on this car. Very nice use of that. You can also see there is a spoiler in the actual metal casting itself. You can see that better from the side view of this car. Finally, let's talk about the top of this car. There is no detailing on the top, and there is nothing in the actual metal casting. It's just a flat roof, which is done very accurate to the real life model, as most of this car is, to be entirely honest. One last thing I do want to mention, the front windows on this car are wound down. It gives that extra sporty look, and I really do think it enhances that dragster vibe and look on this car. Another thing that I did miss is the exhaust is actually a side exit exhaust on this car, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you, or I say a little bit, a lot for you. That is created what I presume to be either the base plastic or the interior plastic. It's definitely one of them, and it does look very good. It is not tampoed to make it look any more realistic, unfortunately, but it does already look pretty good, to be entirely honest. And tampo work would have been nice, but this is a main line, so we have to remember that, and we're not expecting huge levels of detail. But anyways, that's it for the showcase. Now it's time for my final thoughts and review of this car. Alright, so now it's time for my final thoughts and review of this car. I think this is a really nice cast, and I do like how Hot Wheels have modified this car to be a drag car. And I really think this is where Hot Wheels is at its strongest, when they modify the car in their own imagination of this car. I think it is just something that no other company does, and it really makes them stand out amongst the crowd. Anyways, I really do like this car, so that leads me on to what is my rating going to be out of 10. I'm going to give this car a solid 8 out of 10. I think it's great, and there's really not a whole lot of detail lacking. Remember, anything over 7 is something that I highly recommend you purchase, so if you do find this exact colour here in any stores, not that you probably will because this is an older one, but if you do, make sure you grab it. It's a really nice one, and it will suit your collection very nicely. It will be a nice addition. This is a much nicer version, as I've already said, than the black version. I think this one just stands out way more, and it just looks 10 times nicer. But let me know your thoughts. Maybe you'll prefer the black one. Who knows? I'm yet to find anybody who does, but maybe you're one of them. But anyways, that's really it for this video. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Remember, you can also press that notification bell so you do not miss any new uploads. Remember, you can also share this video with any friends, family, or in any groups who may be interested in this video. But remember, don't feel pressured to if you don't feel like you have anybody who may be interested in watching this video. You watching this video all the way up until this point means so much to me, and I really do thank you for making it all the way up until this point. Anyways, that's it for this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye everyone.